All right, welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Today is Wednesday, that is media review, as you'll see here. We are going to be reviewing the Blue Devil Annual Number One, Blue Devil Summer Fun. I'm not even sure it has a title to it overall, but it lives up to its name. I found it the day all hell broke loose. Seems to be the title of it. I found it very entertaining when I bought it way back in 1985. I very much enjoyed the Blue Devil series, and I'd probably buy a collection of it. There's only 31 issues. If they put it out, I'd buy it. Come on, DC, let's do it. Now, whether they will or not is beyond me. But having said all that, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this series. Did you find it fun? This original series, I know he's become all kind of different since then. Apparently, he's been turned into an actual demon, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. So, let me know what you think of the comic book. Did you collect it? Did you read it? Let me know what you think about the state of comic books in general these days. All right, are you ready? Let's roll. We're going to try this background. Since Clipchamp reverses these, we're doing this in Riverside. They sure want you to record everything here. But here is my copy of Blue Devil Summer Fun, which I did buy from mycomicshop.com because I traded mine in many years ago. It's in great shape, as we'll see. I just love these ads. And look at the back there. You'll see all these. The story runs approximately 30 plus pages. It cost a whopping $1.25. I don't think it cost much more to actually get the book again. And I may order some more. This was written by the creators of Blue Devil and drawn by, let's see here, Gary Kahn and Dan Mishkin, writers, co-creators, and Paris Collins, the penciler, also a co-creator. Martins and Collins were the inkers. Bob, no, I can't even read that. Shelley Iber was the colorist. Alan Gold was the editor. There's a nice ad for Oreo, but it's very fun. As you can tell, it has the Creeper, Man Bat, Etrigan. I've forgotten his name, but it'll come back to me. The Phantom Stranger, Madame Xanadu, and the mysterious Black Orchid. So we'll get into that a little bit, but it's a lot of fun. It does not take any of this seriously, and the artwork is astounding. Paris Collins is what drew me to this book to begin with, because he's got a very Ditko-esque. I hate that. He draws a lot of things like Ditko, but he also does stuff. You could tell Ditko is his influence, and they actually asked Ditko to work on this book, which we'll get into. Not the annual, but the original concept here. So this is from, it says, where'd it go? Well, it's November of 1985, so it would have come out probably September of 1985. Summer fun, and it is. It's a lot of fun. It's utterly ridiculous, but it's not over the top silly. It's just perfect. So, are you ready? Let's dive into it here. All right, so here is the print from the internet, and here is my actual copy, which we just saw. I have, as mentioned, I bought it. This is the second copy I bought. I don't think it was too expensive. mycomicshop.com. It's great. So we start out with that opening page. There's Jack Ryder being chased by the Man Bat. That's not Batman in a bat costume. That would be Batman. And he doesn't know why. Now, Jack Ryder is, of course, the human alter ego of the Creeper, who it was not. They were not sure about his origin at this point in time. It had changed several times, but he runs into there's Madame Xanadu, and then the Phantom Stranger shows up outside. So they're both trying to out supernatural each other. So apparently there's a little professional rivalry here with Madame Xanadu and the Phantom Stranger, and then Etrigan shows up. I was watching the Batman the Animated Series, which featured Etrigan, and that is why he has shown up here. So there's Madame Xanadu and her comic book series. I don't know. I would guess those are tarot cards. Steve Englehart. I've never read an issue of Madame Xanadu. This has been it. So, and there is our hero, Dan Cassidy, the Blue Devil himself. Now, he was created back in 1984, ran 31 issues and one annual, and I think there was possibly a spin-off Kid Devil series, which, it was all right. It was just, he had to have a kid. So he's a special effects wizard and stuntman, and he made this super-powered exoskeleton, and then they were on an island, they accidentally free a demon named Neburos, who zaps him and binds the costume. It's an exoskeleton with built-in special effects devices. Neburos thinks he's a true demon, zaps him with a mystic blast, and binds the costume to him. And as I said earlier, I do think that he now has become a real demon, but I've not read that. And if it's not fun, lighthearted series like this is, I don't think I'd want to. So over these 31 adventures and one annual, he started to become known as a weirdness magnet, and I have used that statement quite a bit in my own life. There's just and they even get the House of Weirdness and Kane, who was in the House of Mystery, as he's a superintendent, and he got really pissed. So that's the basis for the 31 issues and the one annual. So here he's built some robots that are $6 million. That's his producer or somebody, I think, back there. Monster Machines. So, and then here is our villain, one of our villains of the story, one Felix Faust. And there is Reese's Pieces doing a commercial that wants to make you remember E.T. from 2 years ago. Like people have forgotten. Now remember, this was pre-video. E.T. was not out on video or VHS, nor had he been shown on television. So perhaps he was close to being forgotten. I keep trying. But there's Felix Faust, who he's such a schlub anyway. They ruin all the robots, and they got that. So the Phantom Stranger shows up at Dan's. And there is the Phantom Stranger, as we've seen just yesterday. And I'm going to put a tiny bit more of it back in here. It did get me, not a strike, but it didn't matter. I'll put some in here yet again.
Then the final stroke will be delivered for vengeance.
For the sake of his soul, I hope you're wrong. Batman must uphold justice.
I put it to a wager.
Interesting. And the prize?
If Batman falls, he is forever in my control. An agent that hunts and destroys his prey without conscience or mercy.
And if I win?
Batman is free to go his own way.
So one of the things that's really cool about the Batman the Brave and the Bold animated series, and I cannot wait to review that one because I love it so much. I might actually like it more than Batman the Animated Series, or at least equally to it. It's so great. But those voices there of the Spectre and the Phantom Stranger are also voices that came from Batman the Animated Series. The Spectre is Mark Hamill, and the Phantom Stranger is Kevin Conroy. It's such a great episode. And you think that show is just for laughs? You are decidedly wrong if you believe that. Be that as it may, here is Etrigan showing up and stamping all of that. Poor Marla. Don't look, Marla. That's her name. And then they show up again here. More magical shenaniganery. Simple spell. And Oh, and there's Jack. Now we get to meet him as the Creeper. Now, the Creeper is not. Sometimes he's crazy or slightly crazy. Sometimes he's just an alter ego. So I don't understand. I don't know exactly which one he is here. And there he is from Batman the Animated Series, where he fell in love with Harley because the Joker dumped Jack Ryder into the same vat that turned him into the Joker, hence the green hair. But he got yellow skin because there was other things added to it. But I think he shows up in the Justice League Unlimited, as is Blue Devil. Lovely, I just did a lot. There is Man-Bat is under the control of Felix Faust, and you can tell because if you see his hand, he's got one of his fingers is the Man-Bat. There you go, right there. This has been a staple of Felix Faust since he appeared in Justice League. There is the Man-Bat from the very first Batman the Animated Series on leather wings. Just told you right then and there this was not going to be your regular cartoon series. And my finger hurts. And so this is he's going to hatch an egg. And Etrigan talks about that. And then little Neburoses show up. Neburos is the demon, of course, that bound Dan to the costume. There's Felix, the fantastic fingers of Felix Faust. Giant Justice League All Sorcery issue. I don't remember if that was him or not there, but yeah, he's pestered the Justice League for decades. And there he is from the DCU, Justice League. I don't know if that's Unlimited. Yeah, probably. But he's about to get punched into oblivion because that's Diana's arm right there. So there he realizes that. So he's wanting to reincarnate Neburos. And yeah, so the imps are at his house. Etrigan is eating them. Tasty tidbits. So off they go. He gives them a butterfly net, which makes them disappear. And now the Black Orchid shows up. And Madame Xanadu gives Jack the secret origin of the Black Orchid. We don't actually I still don't know what her real origin is, and I'm not going to look it up because the little mystery is good. I had her first couple of comic book appearances, but this is Matilda Moorcock, who gets struck by flowers and saturated with they were radioactive orchids, and they gave her the, I guess, powers of the orchid. She can fly. She's strong. I have no idea. Her powers were so ill defined that she's near omnipresent. And we got more here. So they've freed Man-Bat of his affliction, and off they go. And now this is one of Glowing Rock. There we go. Neburos Dimension. I think that's one of his catch chicks. I don't remember what his name is either. And there's the DCU version of the Blue Devil who showed up in like one episode with no lines, probably, which is sad. They could really do a fun cartoon series about this. Just base it on these episodes, on these issues, do it as a, in Paris Cullen style, and just have fun. And now Felix has got Dan under his control. Definitely, there is a lot of Ditko in Paris Cullen's artwork here. That hand is right out of Steve Ditko. So he attacks his buddies. There, the Black Orchid shows up and drops him off. Goes splat. So now Dan wants to know who that woman is, and the Phantom Stranger tells Dan her origin, although it's a bit different. Paula Porter, who gets struck by radioactive orchids, and one of the thorns on them gives her apparently the proportionate power of an orchid. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just don't know. And now they have that they were special. So it's just fun. I mean, if you have to know the characters. I mean, you did have to be kind of a big nerd to know the characters as well. There she is from Batman the Brave and Bold, and she does the old mysterious disappearing trick on Batman. And now he knows how Commissioner Gordon feels. And now Nebros is reincarnated, except it's not really him. I'm not exactly sure he's supposed to be, but everybody uses their, well, they all attack him at once. Oh, and Nebros refers to himself in the third person. And there is Etrigan, and I think that might be from Brave and the Bold, but he hasn't changed form too much from his appearances in the Justice League. Bad Etrigan. And he starts biting him. So now they've dispatched back. Everyone gets a butterfly net, except for Etrigan, and there they go. So they eventually just get him into tiny little pieces, and off he goes. He's dead. Felix is not dead, though. This incarnation of Etrigos goes back there. He's going to wipe him out because he's annoyed, and his fingers probably really hurt. Here's a house ad, well, half a house ad for the Titans, Starfire getting married. I think George has left by now, but I don't know. And a video cassette of the Transformers for $25. 4 episodes, probably, from Family Home Entertainment. Fine folks who brought us the Sandy Frank dubbed Japanese shows, Gamera, and all sorts of other things. So, and I do like this. Now, both Doctor Strange and the Phantom Stranger have done this, where they've smacked a villain around and said it was quite exhilarating. So, I do like the Phantom Stranger. I don't know. I mean, he's got 4 different origins as well. So, go figure. And now what do? So the Creeper decides that they want to be a spirit squad. And that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. And how else would you end it? So, hey, subscribe to DC Comics. You'll save $3 on every subscription. I don't know if you'd have gotten an annual, though. $2 per title. Oh, outside the USA. I had a subscription to Marvel Comics. I got the She-Hulk when it was first out, Avengers, and probably the X-Men. I don't remember anymore. And here, what's inside the suit? Now, the question I have is, what's he eat, and how does he eliminate it? Because if it's bonded to him, were they just pants he pulled on over? So it's, because he does have a girlfriend in the comic book, but I know some things are not really worth worrying about. There is a game here, so it is summer fun. There's his girlfriend. Let's see. Trickster. James Jesse was there. Zatanna. Sharon. Yeah, I didn't even realize Zatanna had made it. I'm surprised she's not in this issue because Madame Xanadu is there's 2 women, so it'd have been fun. But I did not cut up my comic book to do that. There's a nice pinup there. Obviously, BD as opposed to DD, dressed in red. Cuts a fine figure, too. And finally, our last page, and that is the Superpowers action figure line that would translate over to the Super Friends, now Superpowers cartoon show. And we are done with this. All right, that was our episode for today. I really enjoy that comic book. In case you haven't noticed, I talked a little longer than I normally do about books and things. So you can go find it. It's relatively inexpensive. Now tomorrow we will be discussing the final 3 episodes of the Phantom serial, final 3 chapters, and plus an extra, which, I hope it's better than what I remember. All right, my fellow agents. Until our next assignment, this is X7 signing off and phasing out.
Just take a look around. Darkness rules the earth.
In a dangerous world.
Governments crumble. Chaos reigns.
In a treacherous time.
There is opportunity in chaos.
Evil is a fact.
We shall succeed where they have failed.
Drax is on a quest for a supernatural power.
They know far too much.
And courage.
Stop them. You're the only one who can.
is a phantom.
Who was that guy?
Somebody I already killed.
There are some who say he is only a myth. Soon they will discover the Phantom is real.